Grims, I'm Grimm. Yay! Before we get too far into it, because I did this last time out of order and it really threw me off, we're going to introduce our tavern goers. First, a big round of applause and hello from Mr. Mark.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Mark. Miss Lisa.
Hi.
Lisa. Saren. Hi. And Mr. Calvin.
Hoity hoy.
Ahoy hoy. So here we go into another wonderful episode of Tales of Kathak, where we last left our tavern goers. So you guys went to Cogsbrook to try and get some help for Alexstrasza, hoping that you can put her back into a body, and you're hoping to do this through the help of a frost gnome named Neumann. Got a big fascination with horses, likes to build mechanical beasts and stuff, and you guys kind of use that to your advantage as you traded him a horse for some gold, and then proceeded to trade the rest of your horses to a gentleman for his car.
Right.
Which was interesting. And a good little adventure in and of itself as you guys discovered how to put gas into it. And
the car, not the horse.
the car, not the horse. Or the man, for that matter. But eventually you did make it to the boat after running out of gas and having to fill up with some that you took as a souvenir to get the rest of the distance. You eventually hid the car in some bushes, got onto your boat.
Don't forget the part where a dragon dressed as a man beat the shit out of...
That is an important one.
Yeah.
See, this
And
is why
me.
we have other people...
Yeah.
Stabbed me
Yes,
pretty
that's
good.
true.
Yeah.
So before leaving, they did meet an older gentleman with a very thin facial hair, shaved head, and kind of ornate gold and red clothing. Appeared to be somewhat monk-ish as he proceeded to slap the crap out of Carrie to the point of knocking her down with a couple of very strong hits, collapsing her helmet, slicing up Mark a little bit, and generally causing a bit of mayhem before stopping after he was just disappointed at the lack of really the strength and the ability that you guys have. So he was kind of disappointed in that, but it looked like... Yeah, you guys did just enough damage to make him not completely doubt you, but you're just not there yet. So he did give you a bit of a calling card to potentially call on him when and if you guys get to the point of being ready and worthy.
Solid diss. You guys
Solid
suck.
diss.
Call me when you get better.
Yeah.
Gives me a rock.
When you guys stop sucking, let me know. I don't know when that is. So, you guys made it to the boat. Got the rope ladder there, because again, you pulled away a little bit early with leaving your the pier, what's it called? The plank, thank you.
Yeah.
Plank behind.
I was just imagining like me going, "Hey guy, we don't suck anymore." No, you still do. You don't even know. Oh, I know. You don't have to suffer well. Like, damn that guy. He must suffer well. I hate him. He's just trolling us the whole campaign.
So eventually, as you guys get onto the boat with, I believe the cats are still there helping out little Minxie and, Galaxy 9, hey. And Big Minxie there are probably, I guess, hanging out while you guys get some movement going and relax a little bit on the boat trip to the Green Dragon.
Yeah.
As you guys hit Roland, I believe, was the name of the landmass there. And, where's the map?
Yeah, something I would have
There it
tried
is.
to do during that time, or through all the travels, is try to work with you on your spells, maybe take some notes, give you some pointers, and maybe copy
Nice.
some of that into my spell book, that kind of thing. So
Nice.
trading
Sweet.
secrets, basically.
Very nice.
If he's up for it.
Yeah, I would definitely be down to learn some actual magic, because as it works right now, I have no magical training. I just think a thing and someone else does it for me. So I would like to know like the mechanics behind what I'm doing to see if I can kind of work some of this out for myself, and I'll try to share secrets. I imagine as I show him the book, because the djinn controls the writing within it, if the djinn is upsketty, it would probably just write nonsense just to waste his time, or it could be helpful. I don't know what the creature's ultimate behavior is like. It's just
I guess
a
you'll
minor...
find out.
Yeah, so make of that what you will.
Yeah.
But you can write some stuff down at least, and we can kind of see where that goes.
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast.
Don't give it to it. You'll regret it.
Don't do it. So you guys can definitely accomplish that as
we'll
you
work
guys make-
together.
Is there anything else you guys want to do while the boat's just kind of moving?
I'll just be playing with Puppy.
Playing with your puppy?
Yeah.
Lisa, you doing
like,
anything?
learning
Oh,
it.
I'm just like kicking back with my feet up on something.
Nice. Okay.
I'll be seeing like what sort of training he has, maybe.
It's a puppy.
No, but if there's anything.
He's peeing on the floor still. I mean, it's a puppy.
Better not be.
Can we blame him for
Just
peeing
watch
on the
that.
floor? He's on a boat.
I mean,
He can't go
Yeah.
outside.
I'm not gonna hold him.
Hold
at
him off the
edge.
side, yeah.
He's pooping right on the deck. Come on. Oh, into the ocean.
You lift a leg over the rail. I mean, you know.
It's a poop deck.
Oh.
That's some low fruit right there.
That's good.
But if he's actually going to take the time to kind of help me master my abilities, I'm going to use that time to figure out what power I've actually been imbued with from the Phoenix Tears that Neumann kind of channeled into me.
Good call.
So I'm going to find out what that is, because he mentioned it was something about abilities that I didn't really use all that often, but...
So as you kind of mess around just trying to see what sticks, eventually you realize that as you kind of control this ink, it can take on different forms, specifically when it attaches to things or people like yourself, or
Nice.
people that you choose, assuming that the DC is met, whether or not they choose to actually have this happen or not, but they can take on different appearances. Now, it's not specific to an exact thing that you want to replicate verbatim.
Yeah.
It is a little bit more washy than that.
So I say, I want to be a thing with wings, and then
Yeah.
you decide.
Yeah.
Or I say, I want to be a large class creature, but you decide.
Yeah.
I want to be a thing that swims, but you decide.
Yeah, you can even be more
So you
specific.
can
Be
make
like,
a whale
I
or
wanna
a sardine.
Be, right, I want to be furry with 4 legs, and I want to
Oh.
have sharp teeth.
Oh, I thought I got to pick one
No,
thing.
you can be
Okay.
specific about what you want, but the way that comes out after it's baked is kind of...
I want to be a
Up in
bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like, I want to be a bear.
bear rather than a ferocious,
Yeah,
scary
you're like,
bear.
you could be a bear, you could end up
This
as
is
a
genie
wolf,
rules.
you could end up...
This is they can be
Yes,
interpreted.
exactly right. Exactly
It is a
right.
gin in a bottle, so it
Yeah.
adds up. I pretty much flick a venom symbiote on someone and it shapeshifts.
Yeah.
Cool.
And if you want to make yourself look different, you can look different like a human, but what human, you can't really get that picky about it, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what you discover.
I know where this is going. I want to be a human.
That's actually gonna be,
It's so
that's actually
It's
gonna
mostly
be
troll.
extremely helpful as we get there because you're the one that they're gonna most likely want to eat first
Probably.
That's actually
or capture
You're
first.
probably
at
not far
least.
off, yeah.
So
Cool. Well, yeah, whatever that amounts to, I'll definitely... He'll work with me to make it so that I actually
Yes.
approach it with more logic and formula.
Work
and
through
I'm
it
going to work with
properly,
him
yeah.
to ditch the logic and formula and approach it more instinctively. We'll
Perfect.
kind of
Okay.
shore up each other's weaknesses.
yeah. Collectively, you got a really good understanding of what that does now.
and just because I want to make it completely clear
Yeah.
as to what can my puppy do with me, I'm gonna like study his. Like,
So-
can he do anything at the moment, or is it nothing?
So to make it really easy on you, you
Yeah.
essentially have the equivalent of like a homunculus.
Okay.
So if you look up those stats,
Then it won't be
you
like
can
homunculus
yes,
then.
and I feel like it takes one long rest until you can reanimate the homunculus from the gem that it's been imbued with, from the phoenix
Yeah.
tear and the little diamond that it had, right? So I would double check on that, but otherwise it's essentially your homunculus reskin as a puppy.
Perfect. So I can do like touch spells through it.
That's right.
Cool.
Ooh,
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Okay, cool. Anything else? You hit land. There you go. So as you guys dock and tie off, you can actually it's the first time in a while that this boat has actually been able to been tied off to like a pier and a dock. You can actually get off the boat instead of having to use a rope ladder and hit like half up to your ankle water, or more than that actually. So yeah, you guys walk along this thick picketed bush to eventually kind of squeeze your way onto some dry land where the dock joins with the pier there, and you can or the land joins with the pier rather, and it seems like it's pretty much the same story as last time. You guys know how to get through it. It just takes some time, but eventually you do break your way through, and you can kind of work your way somewhere. Where do you guys want to go from here?
Are we like in a city?
Yeah, so you guys hit the edge of Dossington. Dossington, as you saw before when you came a little bit more south, you could see the piers from where you were. Those piers belong to the Benelephant Trading Company, shipping company. They aren't owned by Victor anymore. They belong to his ex-wife. You can see the piers as well as the thick bush line from where you were. Now you're just parked a little bit further north at the actual docks. The line of the bush is still where it is. Everything looks about the same, and you don't know where the city is because you've never been here before, but Calvin, Saren, you guys are familiar enough with the area. You know it's about 4 or so miles in from the edge of the...
Oh, so it's close to the center. It like nested pretty much in the heart of the city. I thought the ring like went halfway through, but it's
No.
the whole thing is right in the middle of all that growth. Great. Bouquet.
Yeah, you know that there is a mountain just towards the edge of where that city is. The city itself is about 3-ish miles in. The center point would be about 4-ish.
Is
Alright.
there, like, because we're at a docking yard.
Yep.
Is there any like cranes and things so we're not having to like slash through all of the bush and stuff? Can we get onto the roofs?
Yeah, so there are some
kind of
pulley
like jump
systems for
over.
loading on large crates onto boats and things of that nature.
Yeah.
You could have someone man one of those where they try to
Yeah.
swing you over the edge of the thicket line. You
Yeah.
could do that. One of you would still have to get through another way, but,
Of
you know,
course.
yeah.
Well, I was just thinking because like, I'll go to Minxie and see
Which one?
the big one.
Okay, fair.
Don't call her senior. It doesn't work well. You call the other one junior.
Oh my god, Victor, are these the docks that you used to own?
Did the other Victor also own these dogs? Oh, it's okay. Clearly you're like over it now. In that world, at least. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll be
It's
fine.
quite impressive.
It is of great comfort to me.
It's like you've
that
lost-
a different
you've lost a
me
lot.
has really like moved past it and is doing great.
Well, maybe it's
it is-
future you. We don't know that yet.
The way that like different books works is that's not future me. That's a different guy.
We don't know how that works yet. He
Like
could
if you have
written
two
you in the
books,
future.
you know how you read what a character does in one book, and then you go, "Hey, that character's pretty much the same."
I don't believe
No.
she's read 2 books.
It's not going to end the same
No,
She's
way.
not going
I've
to
literally
translate.
only read my Bible, and that's it. So it's one
Well,
book.
that's a
but
problem.
There are multiple books in like one, so.
Victor, if you're done giving a lesson, I'm pretty sure she was going to talk to you.
Yes. So,
Carry on. I'm gonna
guys,
do something with that crane over there.
look at the crane.
Yes.
If we turn this crane, I'm not going to be able to slash through this thing for hours.
Yeah, I know.
So, Minxie, do you know how to work a crane? If possible.
Sure.
Could you swing us over there, and then you can climb up onto the frame if you're dexter, like if you're nimble enough.
Oh yes, that shouldn't be a
And
problem
then
at all.
Just fly down. Then we don't have to worry about any of us getting through it. We can
That is
just
a good
jump
plan.
over it.
That actually is a pretty good plan.
Because it grows back. So me slashing through it, I'll have to slash through it twice.
So
yeah.
this thing is pretty easy to figure out for anyone that's familiar with this stuff at all. And Minxie, you actually have a decent amount of experience within the shipping industry. In your other world, you were, I believe, part of like a naval type of outfit where you've had
For a week.
experience. And then you decided to destroy
I am an
everything.
expert.
Or the other Victor, rather. The other
many
Victor
hats.
destroyed everything. Yeah. So yeah, you've been around this sort of stuff before. It's familiar to you. I will say that yeah, the 3 of you can get on there pretty easily, and I'll give you advantage on the roll, just to make sure you can figure it out properly. You don't totally botch it. It is counterweighted and stuff, so it's not going to be super heavy. I want you to roll it as we'll treat it like a sleight of hand.
And I would have lended her aid, so
Perfect. And her familiar, yeah, of course.
Be
You
like
get
a
advantage on
sitting
that
on a
roll,
little
make it
crane
easy enough for you.
Yeah, should be good.
Not good so far.
25.
Nice.
Wow.
You nail it. Now, actually, yeah, you do such a good job that they clear the hedge completely, and you do have an option now. You've actually broken a 20. You set them down in such a way where they don't have to jump off or anything like that. They can just step right onto the ground, which also means a
That we
low
can get
angle
that.
for the crane arm. You have 2 choices. You can use your flight, which you get, I think it's once per short rest, or you can kind of balance act up the crane arm.
I will do that.
Perfect. On your roll, this is just a simple dex. Or acrobatics, actually. I think you have advantage on that.
and
I'll be ready to catch you on the other side.
yeah, I'm gonna hold on to the rope,
No, I have
fully knowing that it does nothing, but I'll just be like moral support. Like,
stabilizing
okay, you
it.
can do it. There we go. It's nice and steady.
What, do I have advantage on it?
That's I'm
Yes.
eating.
Oh, because, oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm ready to catch you if you do.
Moral support.
20.
Good. Okay, yes, you don't fall into a bunch of thickets that give you damage. You actually do just fine. And your little backflip with your cattail spinning behind you as you land very gracefully in front of everyone. You stick to landing like an Olympic gymnast. There you go.
See,
I strut past Victor.
Yeah.
Whip him with my tail.
Nice.
Oh, I'm allergic. Wait, no, I'm not allergic.
And now that you've broken the line of the head, you can see that there is a mountain in the background, and right below kind of the nape of where the neck of the mountain meets the flat land of that city. You can see a little bit of glow coming from within the trees. You know, Dossington is a very thick and lush place just by nature. They try not to disturb the wooded areas, but rather integrate it into their living. So they build tree houses. Some have floor level homes, but a tree going right up the middle of it. They tend to nestle themselves within their environment pretty well, and this looks very organic and beautiful to you guys too as you guys walk your way.
Any people around?
No, there's nothing. It seems oddly quiet.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no animals, nothing.
I will still search around just in case there's anyone.
Yeah, if you want to roll a check.
Do you think the dragon?
This is
They have
an
it on?
investigation if you want, a perception if you just want to get a lay of the land.
I got a
Or
2
maybe they
plus,
got
so
away
no.
before he could.
I mean,
are there still a lot of boats out here, or have the
at
boats
the
all
dock?
set
No,
up?
so there's not really a lot of boats. There's a lot of like useless boats because the tree line, the thickets kind of cut through a lot of the docking. As those vines kind of grow off of each other, they don't really have to stick into ground as long as something is planted to the ground. So it's going through a lot of these boats and all
I just
over
wondered the
stuff.
ships are still there.
The ships are physically there, but they're not good
Yeah.
to you if you
No,
want to try and
no.
use them.
I just wanna know if they're
Fair
still
enough.
there.
Yes, there's about 3 ships there, and then yours is the 4th.
Okay.
I don't know. This speaks of a certain level of power a little bit beyond what I thought of our Black Dragon friend. It seemed to have been totally content with, now that I think about it in hindsight, boring its way through the side of a volcano to get onto a pile of money. But it was kind of tucked up and out of the way.
Exactly,
Its
yeah.
fog was an inconvenience to a bunch of pirates, but that was it. This is different.
Yes, perhaps that one was just happy with the gold material
Yeah.
gains, and this one seems set on dominating over the elves.
Alex did hint at something along those lines,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it would be done so thoroughly. The place is abandoned. The ships didn't get away, they're actually destroyed at anchor.
I told you this would happen. If dragons are about, this is what they do. They're
I thought
very
it-
efficient killing machines.
That's what
Yeah,
I heard.
I don't know. I just thought a big lizard was ultimately a big lizard. You could shoot it or use spells or something, and Dossington had a whole lot of elves in it. I thought for sure they would be able to fight something like this off or have some contingency, but perhaps they haven't been bothered for so long that their complacency cost them everything.
It's clearly no mere lizard.
No.
He may look reptilian, but his scales are iron and his breath.
Yes. That's the thing. Magic can give things a hidden level of strength that completely is removed from their appearance.
Right, look at you.
Thank you again.
I mean that in a good way. How powerful you are for a human. Elf?
A what?
Elf? Half elf? What are you?
You son of a gun!
He is a
Grab
full
Well,
before
He
you
is
run
a
over
full-
there.
hold me like that.
It's still very
He
hard.
can't be.
He is
like
also
I
a
literally
little
have a
bit
collie back
short,
with a
but he's
finger.
very sensitive about it.
So much
I mean well.
You're good.
I do.
You're good. Remember, he's just as weak as you are.
It's the only consolation. Son of a...
So, where do you suppose this black dragon or green dragon? Where do you suppose he is?
Well,
Or
from
she.
the looks of things, at
Yeah, it's been center.
the same reason why the elves built that mountain as the center of the city. I imagine...
The elves built that mountain?
my mistake. They built their city, over top of the mountain.
Yes.
They
I was
incorporated...
impressed
Build
for a moment.
into things.
I imagine
They
the
like it.
green dragon has had the same thinking, and he'll make that his throne, just like the elves before him did. So, I'm thinking it's there. Which is a good thing, because it sticks out from the tree line. We should be able to walk pretty much unerringly towards it without getting lost.
The only thing is we have to be a bit careful. He probably already knows that we're here.
Well, the animals don't seem to be around, actually.
No.
They seem
No.
to be kind of... He keeps them on a short leash, more or less. Or
Okay, so closer.
she, Tiamat.
This is doesn't seem to be even any in the city here. You'd think they'd be full of them with all these scraps of food, I'm sure, lying around.
Well, that's the thing. Looking around, does it look like this city was trashed looted, raided? Are there corpses? Is there signs of struggle? Or does it look like
They just went.
this thing
plants.
happened and everyone was pretty much caught with their pants down and then just summarily rounded up?
So, where are you guys in the city?
We're still at like the
Looking,
edge. We have
yeah.
just
Barely even-
crossed
okay,
over
good.
to the
Yeah.
warehouses and stuff that are around the docks.
Okay, like 100
Yeah.
so
Just
feet
looking
in.
in like the first buildings and stuff.
Okay, so as you start to actually approach the city and you walk in the warm light that's coming from little pockets in the trees here that are actually little homes built into the trees and stuff, they start to kind of hit your face and create some really interesting shadows with a bit of a green kind of tinge to everything, actually. There we go. A bit of a green tinge to everything. And you notice that you can hear kind of straight ahead that there are some noises. And you can even see in the distance a couple little things scurrying around, a little bit of a sign of life anyways, but it appears as if most of the homes don't really have anyone in them. Nothing seems to be destroyed.
We should probably go check for your ex-wife.
Yes, right, her
I was
or your family.
Yeah, your family, your ex-wife.
I would think that all of this is rather besides the point. We're here to
enlist the services of this green dragon and right in the world.
Sure.
It does seem
so
like a
that's
waste
our
of time.
objective, and we don't have to do anything else.
But I mean, maybe, maybe you could get, you could find her corpse and that could make you happy. Otherwise, maybe she has some information for us.
How would I know it's her corpse unless I kept, like, her dental records or something? It would just be a pile of bones. Unless I got to see her die in front of me, we'd just be looking at bodies all over the place. It's a waste of time, Minxie. I want her as dead as you do, but I don't know, it's wishful thinking. At this point, we've got to be efficient with our time.
Well, I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up Puppy.
Gotta make an effort, man.
Puppy, are you a good boy? You're stealthy. Okay. Now,
You asked it a question.
It's a clever one.
can you go around looking for people? People? Yeah. See if there's anyone in danger.
In your head you hear, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Oh, you can talk to me. Oh my goodness, I can talk to Puppy. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm actually really excited too. This is really good.
Oh my god, he actually talks. Can you hear him?
No.
Can you? Oh my god.
Very much a dog.
He's gonna look for people though.
I'm gonna go do the thing.
I
Yeah.
thought we already kind of looked around. It doesn't look like
But
there are many
as we
chances. But
were
there are
making
some
our
small
way in-
scurrying things in the distance.
It's
Yeah.
like patting at your, trying to get down. I'm gonna do the thing.
Okay, go and look at those scurrying things.
Okay,
Tell us what it
okay, I'm gonna
is.
do the
There
thing.
we go.
Put me down, put me down. And as soon as you,
Oh.
just the legs hit ground, just starts moving. And yeah, Puppy's off and scurrying after something. You guys could see scurrying around. Some sign of life anyways.
Perhaps if Puppy catches some rat that's enthralled by the dragon, we can show it that we're here, and then it'll scurry off with its message, and then its master will be aware of us.
I'll try and like call off the puppy and be like, go and catch it, bring it back to us. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Come on, puppy.
As it's not too far away, you can kind of hear some growling in your head a little bit, and you can see Puppy's back end as he ran around the corner there. You can see his butt up in the air, scooching back a little bit as it just starts to come into frame, and you can see his teeth is holding onto something, and it's pulling against something else, a little smaller, maybe about the size of like a smaller raccoon, and as it tugs, it gets this little yank and scurries back to you as the thing that it was fighting against, and scurries off, and it brings something to you and drops it at your feet. I found this thing. It's cool.
I'll pick it up. What is
Yeah,
it?
it looks like a foot, like a shoe with a foot still in it.
Like a human foot.
Human-ish.
Yeah.
No, that shoe, I recognize the maker. It's a very, he's a good tailor, or what the heck
Cobbler?
is it? Cobbler.
Cobbler.
There we go.
Is that your wife's shoe?
No,
Yes.
Oh.
Oh,
Go
my-
see if you can find the
those are
left
very
end.
spiky.
Oh. Oh, I think they're already.
You seem disappointed. I did a good thing though,
He
right?
did such a good
Oh, good.
thing.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Okay.
So you really talk to that dog robot
yeah.
thing?
Can't you hear it? No,
I cannot. And
he's a dog. He's not a robot. I don't think he's a robot.
Smelling
at
his own
least.
butt now.
Maybe
Not just a
it's
dog,
the
he-
gem. Maybe.
perhaps, but I had no idea he could talk for that whole journey we were on for the last 4 days.
No, I didn't either. Because I wasn't talking to him. I was just petting him, and he was just happy and growling. I thought he was just happy puppy.
Well, if
Clearly-
he says anything about me, he's a bloody liar.
That's right. I don't know what that
Do I-
dog saw.
Do I have to say
know you
it
can
out loud? Or is it in my head?
You two can communicate, but you do it non-verbally.
Okay, I'm just gonna like ask him what he thinks of it. Zarek.
I don't know anyone that well yet.
Okay.
Good boy. So, bringing a dragon down upon us. We really
Yeah.
think that's such a smart idea still?
Sounds like a very stupid idea.
Well,
We need to
ultimately, we have to get within communication distance of it, yeah?
Yeah, I know what we
At
have
the
to
end of the
do.
day?
I just think it's just...
Probably.
Well, yes. Generally, if you want to be friends with someone, unless you're going to be their pen pal, you have to do it.
And do you
And
think
talk to
this
them.
dragon is going to want to be your friend, though?
Well,
to make it
we're
up.
kind of putting all of our eggs in the friend basket.
Right.
Because if it turns out that this one doesn't want to be our friend, well, we're all fucked anyway.
Well, then maybe we should bring
world
in some
world.
kind of gift
Your
or something,
universe
because
depends on
we
it,
have
so-
nothing and we are really hoping that it won't just eat us.
We don't have a gift, but we have an incentive, a very powerful one.
If it believes us about saving the world and all of that.
No. I was talking about the unfortunate loss of its
Egg.
progeny, the
And
egg.
again, if he's just not terribly mad at us for that.
Well, we did not actually intentionally cause its destruction, and as long as we're careful with the way that we answer within some kind of zone of truth, or
I
if it
have
were able to read minds, I don't know. Alex really was the specialist on all this. She knows
Right.
what they can and can't do. To me, it all seems like they can kind of do anything. But ultimately, we tell it that if it saves the world, not only does it return to its true form in its own world, but it gets its egg back.
Yes.
That's a pretty darn good.
And we do have to
It's
give it
still
the
a
condition of
50-50.
not killing any of the elves.
Oh, sure. If we solve this whole problem, all of this can be undone.
But
Everything can be undone. So let's say, Carrie, that we go to this dragon and say, be our friend and help us save every world that exists. And he goes, sure, but I like me some elf food. And you go, that's where I draw the line. You've damned not only all those elves, but every elf that has ever existed, including every other living thing across the multiverse. Or across the library. Well, I don't know what this author guy calls it. But everything is kind of sitting on this. If we lose, oh yeah, everything sucks. We just have to not lose.
Yes.
I
So
must
maybe
stress
it
that.
might be better to increase our odds of success a little bit by bringing him something, a favor, so we can gain some trust.
Okay, what would you suggest?
Well, I would suggest maybe all we know is that he really likes elves.
Yeah? He's got a whole, city full.
Well, he did. Now I'm sure he's hungry again.
Oh, so like we use them as bait?
Perhaps.
I don't like that plan. I vote no. Oh, no, it's not a vote.
In
We're doing
your-
this on moral grounds, and so one person saying no means it can't fly. This is not a democracy.
Now I've seen.
I was about to
Veto.
I am thinking in my brain and talking to Puppy and saying like how well really we could just bring him back after the world's better, but
Your
I'm not saying that out loud.
your
'cause I know it'll
magical
upset him.
book in your inkwell. I've seen in there that you can alter the way things look a little bit.
I can, myself and others. So if we can find something, say like, no, she likes the puppy.
What about
You are
myself?
not taking Puppy.
Sure. Maybe that foot.
Turn that into an elf?
Yeah. We can go, hey, this one doesn't even feel pain. You can do whatever you want, and it just stands there looking shocked.
All right. How about this? You make me
I
look
feel
like
like
a
it's-
very big, chubby, tasty elf,
Oh.
and I duplicate myself,
Oh yes.
and perhaps he has one of them as a snack.
Free elves.
How physical are your images? Because if they are
Quite so
not
they can take a
physical-
hit, so they can
They
take
are
some
physical.
teeth.
What I mean to say is, if I eat an illusory apple,
Does it
it
taste like an
crunches,
apple?
it tastes like apple, it smells like apple, but ultimately I don't satisfy my hunger.
Right.
You see what I'm getting at?
Perhaps I could use a little thaumaturgy to make it maybe sound and feel like there's a little more going on.
Maybe that would be enough to deceive it? Sure, it's worth a shot. I mean, it's better than what we had a second ago.
Or it might just make it matter, because I could probably see through all kinds of
Yeah, the
magic.
deception
Right.
could just piss it off. And I would think that if it's that voraciously hungry, and it is a ginormous lizard, so it would probably, if it eats, a metric ton worth of chubby elf and doesn't feel full, it's
How
probably
about
going to know
this
something
then?
that's
Yeah.
What is the
We
worst?
sacrifice 2 chubby elves in his honor, just at his doorstep.
I'm confused.
Make a
Could
show
work.
of it a little.
What do the rest of the
As we
dragons
hold the
eat?
illusions, can you make them... Do they just pantomime what you do, or can you animate them?
I can animate them a little bit.
That's awesome. This is good. This is good. All right. Okay, that could work.
Okay, it's a start.
Nice. Now, by the way, I think the thing that attracts the dragon to elves would not be their corpulence. In fact, I would think it's quite the opposite. It might make the food taste less good. It might be less of a meal, but the fact that it holds itself to such high standards and in such esteem is what makes the meal delectable, at least to the mind. So maybe we have to make them as beautiful as can be, rather than because in elven society, if someone is morbidly obese, they're not going to like that elf very much. They don't like elves that are near perfect. So the standards have to be high. Can you manage that level of...
I leave that to you. You make me look like however you think.
I don't have much control over this thing. The djinn is willing to only go so far within the terms of the deal.
And just give it your best.
What?
All right. We might have to do... Oh, no. It has an unlimited time. You just can't cast any spells while you're in that form.
So it has 1 minute per level.
Ah, okay.
And
we're going to have
my
to do
copies
this.
last for 1 minute, so
We're going to have to do this closer to
last
the...
minute.
Eyes out, everyone. We need to get the jump on this. If it sees us doing this, the game's up. Unless anyone has any other ideas. Because right now, we're kind of trying to deceive this thing, and I feel like that sets us way back if it sees through it.
I think a better thing
Correct.
than deceiving this would be just to find out what else it would eat.
Do a perception check. You guys are actively trying to
Perception.
game plan here a little bit. I think this would be appropriate, considering there's not a whole lot going on. It'd be easy
We're
to
trying
get
to
your attention.
perceive something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
8.
What do my tiefling eyes see with a 3?
I got a 12.
Nothing.
9.
Nothing.
No one broke a 10?
No.
I got 12.
We're all deep in planning.
Yeah, it's
okay,
not.
so it's
Oh,
15
puppy.
Plus. Oh, yes.
Oh, roll for puppy.
No.
Nope. Okay. Then that is your plan.
I don't... Guys, it could be a great boon to have us go up and, properly appear humble before this creature and offer sacrifices and all that good stuff as we approach it. That could work,
I don't
but
agree
ultimately
with
it
the
is...
sacrifices.
Well, they're not real sacrifices. They're just mirror images.
Oh, but
Yeah. We're not...
but
Don't
it's
worry, we're
gonna-
not going to slit anyone's throat, Carrie.
of course, it's not going to happen.
No.
We're
We're on the same page.
But the thing is, why don't we just find if the dragon eats anything else, if it thinks that anything else is yummy or delicious, or even just bring as much food as we possibly can. I'm sure we could find the elves cooking their delicious food. Like, your wife must have had chefs and all sorts of things. Like,
If it was here for elven culinary skill, it would probably have left the restaurants populated with its chefs.
maybe didn't think about that. Well,
Carrie, you're
If
so
it
young.
wants to-
Oh, you beautiful soul.
but if
Anyway.
it wants to play with its food, why don't we just have the elves be their slaves for a while and just tell the elves,
They are. They're imprisoned by it. I doubt they're willingly.
no, of
You can hear a bit of
course not.
screaming off in the distance.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Some
I don't want
wind.
to eat any of them.
No, Okay, how about this? If at all possible, we'll go to the dragon and try to say, by the way, while you're helping to save the world, no eating innocents. But at the end of the day, if we free the god author, We can rewrite reality as we see fit. We can undo every bit of damage it's done. Yeah.
I don't
so
think
you
it's
were
a good
saying
idea
if
to
they
put-
eat the elves, it is okay.
If it comes down to it.
But
if
you
that's
aren't
the
willing
line.
to be sacrificed.
I'm important. No one else is.
Of course you are, Big Taylor.
We do.
We're all the main characters, right?
We do need his backing.
Marie Antoinette vibes. Let's eat the elves.
Oh no!
Let
Let
them
them eat
have
elves.
Mincy,
All right.
Yes, Big Taylor.
if it would please you, sure. If it came down to it,
But
and the
frankly,
fate
I
of
think
the
it
world,
would please you.
please
Not
me.
Not me,
Why would I want to be eaten by a dragon?
Big Taylor.
It's
Aw.
the
Don't.
act of giving yourself
I'm like, no! Trying to run away from her eyes. Leave me alone.
How do I run away from emotion? Oh god.
I'm still here and it hurts.
Alright, what are you guys doing?
All right.
We're gonna go in.
We'll make our way to the mountain.
Quick vote. Do we go for the deceiving act of supplication, or do we just go with straight up truth?
I
Let's
think
hear a
if
vote
it-
on it now.
We go straight up.
I'm going straight up truth.
And then if it tries to eat us, to do the illusion and
Alright.
get away.
Cool, as a
Not
backup
bad,
plan.
Yes.
not bad.
Truth.
Okay, looks like we're all in favor for that.
But your idea as a backup could get us out of a bind
It
with
could,
distractions
it
or something.
could.
If
But
so-
you'll have to be on point with that elf illusion.
I'll see what I can do. It's not reliable, I practice, but it,
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Genie
but-
magic, you
Or
know.
at least something to.
Where does it
stand
come
for.
from? Who knows?
That's the ink bottle. Doesn't say where it's made from. That's a violation of code. I need to know if I'm buying products from my own country. All right, awesome. And then we break off through the
Perfect.
woods.
So as you guys start to actually make your way past these houses towards where you can hear some chatter and some screaming and stuff, perhaps positive or negative, you don't
I
know.
will set Puppy off ahead of us,
How far ahead?
as far as possible, actually. Since
What's
I can
your?
talk
Do you know
to
your
them.
homunculus range?
It should be 1 mile actually, because it's not the homunculus. It's the because we talked about it. It was the gnoll steed, or like the
Yes, but you're
spiritual
communicating with it
Ooh.
as a homunculus for the intelligence factor.
Oh, so
So
I
it would
can't. Okay, one
It's a
second.
homunculus.
No, it's a
We just call it her
hermunculus.
monkey.
It's a hermunculus.
Homunculus.
For those of you that don't know, I had a her monkey was its name, and it was like a cute little like monkey thing with like a wheel and some wings.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. So now it's a homunculus. Homunculus.
How much does it look like a dog?
It's a puppy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it is a
Okay.
puppy.
Just mechanical.
No,
Oh, I thought it was
I
mechanical.
misunderstood
It's
that.
a real puppy.
It was gonna be upgraded, I think.
It was they were trying.
They were
going
gonna
to
work
upgrade
towards
it
upgrade.
and do
It was gonna be
things to
Neumann's guinea pig for trying on some bio
make
type
it
stuff,
into a-
and it
robot thing.
took a liking to you, and your name was on its collar anyway. So, yeah. But yeah, you guys make your way towards some of the screaming and stuff as you
Nice.
start to notice that the animals are a little more lively. They're starting to actually kind of appear with some intention, it seems. Yeah, it looks like the path that you guys are taking are almost lined with animals. It looks like they're on each side of you as they create about a 10-foot berth ahead.
Zarek, I think if the animals work for it, if they saw us conjure fat elves out of thin air, the jig would probably be up, but we'll still keep it to scatter and flee.
Do you think they could communicate that?
What good would they be otherwise? I don't know. Magic is
Creepy
crazy, man.
stairs, apparently. It's all they're good at. What?
Yeah, that one is really giving you the stank eye.
Yeah, there's one going
Wow.
as he's just walking, but his head is not
The
wavering.
mad deer. Thinking you're so good.
Yeah, that's right. That's
I
right.
would really like to see a fat
They're
elf, just for the
telepathic
record.
bond. It
You've
says
never
as,
seen one.
As long
They're
as the
adorable.
homunculus is
think
in the
they
same
exist.
plane of existence as me,
They
I can
usually
communicate
around
with
pie
it
shops.
And that's what it is.
So it's
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
So it's going off
Doesn't
as
matter.
far as it'll be
Alright.
like
Nice.
as far as it can away, within reason, like slowly.
It
and
can be as far as
stealthily.
you want. So
Yeah.
how far are you letting it go ahead of you? Because that matters.
As stealthily as it can. I want it to get literally up to like the gates of where the dragon is, if it can.
You want it to search for the dragon before you guys start searching for the dragon.
just
Mm-hmm.
like looking up. If there's elves and stuff around it, stop there. If he can
You
get
want it to just move
further-
before you until it finds something.
Yes.
Okay.
Then
So
report back.
why don't you roll perception or investigation, depending how you want Puppy to
If you
approach
do
it.
perception, your puppy has advantage on smell-based
Yes.
stuff for tracking it.
Perfect. Oh god. 2 twos.
Just smells like crap here.
Nope. Yeah, no, you just get this like sense of confusion,
He's gone the wrong way.
and yeah, that's about it.
He's gone the wrong way. Oh god.
Alright, well, he might be lost, but I mean, we just keep heading towards the center of the city and hope for the best.
Let us tell him to make his way back to the ship
Hey,
if
if
he
you-
can.
Hey, you've got wings. Fly. Go tell him to, like, meet us halfway or something. Go. You, scurry, go.
just
Do stuff.
Meet
just
your
point to the animals.
Yeah. Go on.
So you're trying to tell the dragon that you want to meet with it
Yeah.
now. All right, roll.
roll
I would like to meet your master
Oh, okay.
for a conversation. If you can communicate this, then please do it as politely as possible.
Roll a persuasion check.
Thank you.
Announce our arrival, please.
I would like to politely.
go now.
Anyone advantage? 19 total.
Cool. They look like they have at least some desire to deliver a message.
Great. So, to any of you that wish to embark on an epic quest that would help save the universe, we're here.
I have my sword out ready.
No. This is the one time you don't want that. That'll get you killed this
I'm
time.
joking.
Oh, okay. Carry,
No,
God.
I'm just gonna do the 1 second. It's like the glowing weapon thing.
Tell your master we're here.
Sword.
Now that you guys are actually looking at these animals, especially with you trying to persuade them, why don't you do be a perception, because you're not actively looking for like a specific thing within the animals, but just the general vibe of what you're getting from them as you kind of try and make your case.
Try and investigate like what they're all about.
Okay, that's totally okay. Yeah.
All right.
B. I got no idea.
No? Okay.
15.
I'm chatting up a
Natural
squirrel.
20.
Nice.
Minxie knows what's up.
Mark, you can hear some sort of fearful chittering and kind of, just some unpleasant animal sounding noises, maybe a little bit of fear in there, coming from just behind
right
the
to be
pack.
afraid.
But with your natural 20, Lisa, you hear the same thing, but you can actually catch it with your eye. Your cat-like eyes just hone in on it, and you can see that there's one small bunny that looks like it's a little bit bloody on its white fur, and it seems like there's a few rather angry-looking wolves kind of huddled around it with their heads down, asses up, teeth showing, just really trying to intimidate this thing as it's backed up against a tree, dripping blood.
Did you say asses up?
Asses up.
Wouldn't it be hackles up?
Asses up.
Now,
Asses
What's a
up.
hackle?
their hackles is like the hair on the...
arch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but this is asses up. So
Like
like,
when cats
when a
stuck
dog,
finger.
like when a dog gets down really low
Ah.
to like a smaller animal or
I got
bad
what
at
you mean.
something.
Ready to pounce.
Yeah, asses up. Yeah.
I'm going to... I haven't seen that yet, so I'm going to wait for her to pass it
Yeah.
on.
I have got my sacred weapon
Okay.
already.
Yeah, and you can see a bunch of the animals are kind of scurrying as you persuaded them to deliver the message. Quite a few of them are saying you don't need that many to deliver a message, but yeah, you notice with the natural 20 what's going on. Mark, you can hear it. And
Are
Calvin, you
rabbits
don't say
important in this world? Because I mean, there's a rabbit over there that's getting picked on by some wolves. It looks very strange.
Hold up. Okay. One thing we know about dragons. The one that handed our asses to us can turn into a man. They're shapeshifters. 2, this is a storybook. It's probably meant to have some moral lesson
Well,
or something about helping things in need. My guess is
Yeah.
the dragon is the bunny.
Well, he's
And this is a
saying that,
test.
I am
Let's
gonna-
get the wolves.
I'm gonna go
I am
run
gonna
at
go
those
over and
wolves.
just stand in front of the bunny.
This is hardly a story anymore.
I am just like booking it
Big
towards
head.
those wolves.
Yeah, I follow
like
behind
going
it.
like this,
Yeah.
like ah.
I'm going to follow Minxie.
I'm gonna stand in front of the bunny and pick it up if I can. Because
You're gonna try to get between the bunny and the wolves?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, you can use your movement to
it is
get
not.
there.
Yeah,
Okay, so once you guys use your movement and actually get to them, at that point, I would say we would roll initiative because surprise
Alright.
is no longer relevant and you guys are close enough for them to
I'm
see
not
you.
rolling. I'm just watching these guys. Yeah.
Where'd you
Natural 20.
Wow,
Don't worry.
that's
pretty
Twisty.
hot.
Holy
my
crap.
dice.
I don't like these dice anymore because they don't
I
roll well.
love these dice.
Just because I've been getting like 2 and 3.
Okay, and you're going to jump in front of the
Bunny
and the
if I
rest.
can.
What are the rest of you doing, by the way? Just so I know where you're at within your marching order and kind of where you landed.
I didn't move at all.
You didn't move, so okay, you're
I
still probably
would've
about 20, 30 feet
moved
back then.
because
Okay.
I saw it, so I probably would have moved pretty fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
you saw it first.
Maybe I'm like tackling a wolf.
If she's tackling the bunny and she's
There it
like
is.
soccer, like slide tackling a
Yeah.
wolf, I am going to hold and ready in action an Eldritch Blast if
Okay.
any of the wolves looks to attack the rabbit or either of my party members.
Ah, perfect. Very,
So
very good.
as I'm like running in there,
Yeah.
that's something.
Readied. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you guys saw these things before they saw you. I would consider that a surprise round, actually, to be honest with you, because their
Cool.
backs are to you as well. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as you guys approach, do you guys want to do anything before
Perfect.
you stand between the bunny and the wolves?
I don't, because I just want to pick up the bunny as
Okay,
soon as
so
run away. Yeah.
okay, fair
I'm
enough.
protecting the bunny.
Okay,
I had a perfect initiative roll of a natural 1.
nice.
So, literally, just
Just stood there.
cross
So-
my arms, watching you guys
It's a choice,
fight a
and
bunch
yet-
of wolves for no
if,
reason.
even if it wasn't a choice, it wouldn't matter. You're still just gonna stand there anyways. Okay.
Yeah.
Who rolled what for initiative, by the way?
3.
So
Natural 1.
Okay. Lisa, what'd you get?
25.
23. 22.
Oh,
And then they got 17 plus.
just like the good old days, Big Dare.
I've got your back.
Yes, you do.
That's right.
I'm trying to prepare my gun, just like, no, you're distracting me.
Nice. So yeah, as you guys go up to these wolves, it would be a surprise round if any of you want to do anything before we actually kick off.
I
'Cause they
wouldn't
didn't see
suggest
you.
killing the dragon's creatures.
That's exactly what I was going to do. Bonus action, I'm going to put a hex on one of them.
Okay.
I'll make it so that its strength checks have disadvantage, and I will ready that Eldritch Blast with my action.
Okay.
And for free, I'm just going to tell them, whatever intelligence being in the dragon's thrall has given you, use it now to back away. We don't mean you any harm. You should be able to understand here what is being brought to bear. Back off. Let's resolve this peaceably. We have a message to get to your master.
Okay. Want to roll a persuasion check?
Okay. 6 plus 7. 13.
They heard you.
Okay.
You can see a little head
not
tilt.
be the first one to shoot,
Yeah.
but I'll hope.
Okay.
I'll do Sanctuary on the bunny.
On the bunny.
Yeah.
That's the right target.
That's right. Good job. Sanctuary. Okay.
I'll make sure
Well
it doesn't
done.
attack anything.
Yeah.
It's on me again.
Nice. Okay. So everyone's and at that point you're gonna get between the bunny and the wolves
Yes.
as you're making your persuasion of them to
just,
kind of back off. Okay. And at that point we would go through the initiative order. So it starts off with Lisa.
Okay, so as I am trying to tackle this fella here, I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp.
Ah.
So it's just like lightning coming from my hand to give it a shock. And let's see if I hit it at all, but 22 to hit.
Yep.
Cool. Wow, you hit us so good. That's 9 damage.
Ooh. Okay. And what did you hit it with?
Lightning.
Lightning? Yeah, so as the lightning works its way through this, you can immediately smell burnt hair as the ends of all the hair just kind of start to raise up and stiffen, and you can see it just shakes its head a little bit. It almost looks like you could see a skeleton right through this thing, as it is looking pretty hurt at this point. I think it's going to probably just step back for just a minute and kind of assess itself, give its head a shake a little bit, and it's going to move down the order to Calvin.
Okay. Again, I don't really feel the need to blow up this pack of dogs as of right now,
Yeah.
so I'm just going to spend my action readying it, and I will cast an Eldritch Blast at the one that I've hexed.
Okay.
If it attacks either the rabbit or effectively allies.
Sure. Number 1, 2, or 3.
1.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Stand down. This doesn't have to go this way. You've seen what she's capable of. The rest of us are just as good. Back off. We can make use of you.
and it goes to the wolves at this point. So yeah, as you're pleading with them, we're gonna kick your ass, and the other one doesn't look like it's in the greatest of shape. The two that are totally fine don't seem to be too bothered by it. They're actually a little bit more upset at it as they look towards Lisa, who did the only real damage here. Both of them are gonna actually take. I think they're gonna both take a shot at you, the two healthy ones. Does 19 hit?
It does.
Okay, and I'm guessing 16 doesn't hit.
No.
No, okay. So one of them actually hits you. One of them goes in for a bite, and as you kind of duck away a little bit, it just catches air, but the other one's watching your movements, and it kind of follows through behind the other one, and it lands, it grabs onto your arm. This one's just going to be biting into you with its teeth, and it's going to be 2d4.
No, Maxie.
So that's 6 damage. So you can feel the pressure's pretty good as a little bit of blood starts to kind of drip down its mouth as it's kind of dangling off. The other one didn't quite hit you. The one that's a little bit more damaged, though, I think it's going to maybe shy away from you, and I think it's going to go towards Calvin.
Do I actually get to shoot my ready to action
Yes.
now that one of them goes to...
Yes, you do.
Attack.
So yeah, as it jumps and misses, the other one goes to... And just before its mouth actually gets the chance to open and grab around you. Yeah.
Cocked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
16.
16
Yep.
plus, so
You
that'll
hit.
do that. So that's going to be 1d10 plus 4. So 1 plus 4, that's... So 5 force damage and 5 necrotic damage. And unfortunately, I don't get to make a second Eldritch Blast
Nice.
attack.
And that's on number 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so as you let this Eldritch Blast go, it just decimates this thing. Woo. Number 1 was actually pretty hurt already.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks like it's kind of on its last legs. Its friends are trying to get in there to actually attack, and it's thinking it might do the same thing. But it decides against it immediately as this big goes off, and an Eldritch Blast goes right for him as he's kind of getting in queue. He's actually kind of blocking his friends a little bit and just taking the full brunt of this thing as he just splatters into this disgusting mess all over the floor. And its two friends just kind of go... And one of them misses because it's just sheer panic at that point. The second one is already mid-jump. It did hit you at that point. Did the damage that it did. But one of them's destroyed. The other two are still looking pretty good.
Gotcha.
That's going to be them. What's your...
Now, do the wolves have pack tactics, by the way?
They do, but they have to be within 5 feet of one another. They got advantage. The one hit, the other one didn't hit.
Nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But it goes down the order to Saren.
You know.
Yes.
I'm gonna shield the bunny from the horror of the wolf just blowing up.
Okay.
And
Cover its eyes.
yeah.
It's probably loving it.
And pick it up
You can pick up the bunny?
if I can.
Okay. As soon as you go
And
to
then
pick up the bunny.
does it want to come up?
No, it feels really
Heavy.
kind of heavy, yeah.
Heavier than a bunny should be.
Thor's hammer?
Oh, okay.
Not quite. It doesn't actually feel that heavy. It just feels
Okay.
heavy.
Just heavier.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try and just move him away and be like,
It could be. It could be.
oh my god, it's not Vivek!
I thought it was.
Continue.
This is ridiculous.
I'm just gonna try and communicate with the chunky buddy.
In what way?
Are you okay? Are you actually a bunny? Because I can't pick you up. You're very small. Do you want to come this way? You don't want to be attacked by the wolves. They're gonna try and kill you.
Roll of persuasion.
Oh, 4 plus 7. I got 11.
Vivek will be scared.
And I have got
Yeah.
Sanctuary on. One sec, I'm just checking if like Sanctuary shows me.
Vimic doesn't remember he's Vimic and he thinks
No,
he's a
I wouldn't
bunny.
like know what
Still.
the creature is if I've warded
Best
it.
bunny.
But,
Yeah, that squirrel killed 2 guards.
Yeah, it was really weird.
I got an 11.
You got an 11?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you go to pick up the bunny, it's not... You almost pull your back out because it's just... It
Okay.
moves, but not nearly as much
Yes,
as it
I'm not
should.
expecting it.
100%, yeah.
But I can pick up like 200 pounds.
Then it will be a grapple check.
Then yeah. Then
I
I'll
love how often that
once
is
I'm
coming.
Quite.
How much is
Are you serious?
ballpark?
Ballpark 300.
Okay,
Easy.
so no.
he was good.
Yeah, so no, you can't lift it.
That was a 9.
So as you get between the bunny and the wolves, it seems like this is a good opportunity. The bunny, noticing the wolves are getting their butts handed to them, and now you're kind of like human shield, it decides it's going to scurry away, and it starts to make a run for it.
Following it. I've got my
Oh my
movement left.
god, Vimic!
I'm following it close by. Did she say that?
Well,
I
Minxie
did,
would
yeah.
actually know him.
Yeah, because like I'm struggling to pick up a bunny
so
that's
I'm
fat.
just running away.
Like,
So
I am.
Yeah,
I am
it's a very
running.
dense bunny.
I am running after it, and I've got 30 feet of walking speed.
Yeah.
Of running speed. Yeah. So am I keeping up with him?
Nice. Yes, you can
Cool.
keep up with it.
Cool. I'm keeping right up with him.
Okay. At this point, if you're going to be blocking the bunny from the wolves and you're moving away from the wolves, there's gonna be opportunity
That's
attacks
okay.
from. That's okay. Okay, so that would be 2 of them then. So plus.
you gotta make Red Thorn an NPC or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Mark,
bring him in.
what did I say? It's a storybook. This is a lesson. You gotta help
19
the
and 16.
I wanna
Either
help
of those
the
hit?
No.
No?
Actually,
Even
but-
when
You got a jab.
yourself.
So they try really hard to
I'm
do their
20,
opportunity
yeah.
attacks. It doesn't seem to do anything to you. One, it seems to get a hold of your armor, but just kind of catches on the edge.
Yeah.
Doesn't really do much to you as you kind of just swat them away and keep moving, running after this dense rabbit.
Yeah. I am following
That's
this
right.
dense bunny.
It's all thick bunny.
And at that point, you notice that the other animals start to kind
funny.
of clue in as to, something does not belong kind of thing. And you get the impression there is kind of a hive mind going on, where now that these wolves have kind of failed, it seems as though the other animals are starting to kind of focus on this rabbit as it's darting in and out between trees and underneath logs, scurrying into little holes and things like that.
Yeah.
You can just see it kind of popping in and out of tree lines and stuff as it starts to make its way to somewhere
He
safe.
has
Gotta
got
slaughter the
sanctuary,
cast of
and I will tell him as I'm running after him if I can. Don't attack anything because you're protected at the moment. I'm not taking that off of you.
Okay.
I
Roll a
promise.
perception check or an investigation check. Something that we you could also do like a animal handling.
Yeah, animal.
You could do survival. Survival would be good for tracking if you wanted to go that route
yeah,
too.
actually.
I just want to see if you can find this thing because it's a lot smaller than you and it had a bit of a head start.
The
Yeah.
good news, I was gonna say like a rabbit's footprints and a whole bunch of woodland critter footprints is gonna be hard to find, but they're like indented a
Yeah.
couple inches into
And,
the
and you can
ground.
physically see it occasionally popping in and out. So it's,
I
yeah.
got a 14.
14? Okay. Do you know roughly what his stealth was?
It
the
was
ad would be?
terrible. I think
Yeah,
it's
it
like
was not
disadvantage.
Doesn't matter
great.
anyways.
It was not
The
great.
bunny's gone. Doesn't even matter.
Oh.
Nat 20.
Oh god, no.
It is like so gone.
Oh.
Damn it, Vimic, you could have been helpful.
If you're a person, let us know.
You are a creature.
I took that personally. What the hell?
No.
This thing's been hiding low from something real scary in a world it doesn't know. It's
Yeah.
just gonna play its
right,
And
game.
he
Because
doesn't
Minxie-
even care about his good friend
Because
Minxie.
Minxie appeared in the same area. So Vimic appeared in the same area too.
So he's lost his kids again.
He has.
Oh god.
Yes.
Plot twist.
Just got him back.
They're with Byzance.
Oh, Byzance.
Other campaigns. For those of you that haven't figured it out yet, we just like playing D&D, so we're doing this mostly for selfish reasons, and in doing so, we're pulling from campaigns that we just enjoyed in the past. So it might not make sense to you, but we'll try to, I guess, fill you in as we go as much as we can. Anyway.
So he's a Goliath who could take the forms of some animals.
Yes, he was the Beastmaster or something in his
He was a
world. and
chunky
he was-
squirrel.
Yeah, so
Yes.
he become big squirrels and big rabbits and big raccoons and stuff.
He also
Pretty
tried
cool.
to climb into a building that was a straight building.
But on to this
Which I
game,
told you.
as you
Yeah,
guys
sorry.
watch this thing disappear, kind of just losing, I guess, sight of this. The rest of you aren't following, but Carrie is, and unfortunately didn't quite succeed in keeping tabs on him. The rest of you are still there with these wolves as we kind of continue through the order now. It goes to Mark. Mark, what are you doing?
You guys still playing with those wolves, huh?
Well, I think they've
All
about
right.
learned their lesson.
All right, I guess. And I'll take the dodge action, the dance dodge.
Nice. So he's just going, cool, you guys have fun over there.
Yeah.
No. As he's just practicing,
I'll
kind of
just take
going
this
back
time
and
to work
forth.
my cardio.
Yeah, and it goes back to the top of the order with Lisa. Lisa, what are you doing? Covered in wolf goo, I guess, just kind of, and the other two not, looking they're not looking very confident, but they're
Are they
definitely
running
angry.
away, or
They're not running away, but it's more of a fight or flight kind of thing kicking in. They're starting to get a little bit darty with the way that they're looking. They're concerned, but they're still, instinctually quite aggressive and ready to fight.
Okay. I'll cast Minor Illusion
Okay.
to have like fire on a stick and just kind of like wave
Ah,
at them.
nice.
Be like, go on, get.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Now, is there a check to kind of see through this illusion? Like, what's the DC for that?
Investigation check.
They tell there are dogs on the porch.
Get out of here! Get them,
It's just like an 8-bit
already
fire
used
that
to
doesn't
this,
move
yeah.
as you're doing it. 'cause
That's right.
I
Perception check, I'm guessing. DC 13.
It's investigation.
Investigation.
a lot of words here. Just
To see through illusions. Unless it's like a 2D sprite, where it's like paper thin
yeah.
when looked directly on, but then it...
if the
Yeah.
if the creature is going to use its action to examine the sound or image,
Oh.
then they would
But they have
to
to use
see
its
if it is
action.
an illusion. Then they would have to do an
And it
intelligence
takes-
investigation check.
And does it take their action to do that? Yeah.
yeah.
To spend their time
Nice.
examining
Against her
it.
spell save DC.
Okay. Well, it's not even their turn, so
That's
right now,
nice.
at the very least, I would say
Yeah.
they would be surprised and they wouldn't know better. So yeah, as you're handing some kind of fire at the end of this, what was it, like a stick or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just waving it at them, they would think it's real for now. Yeah, you can tell they're kind of getting a little bit standoffish. All right, it goes back to Calvin now.
If you're wondering whether to keep going or not, your prey is gone, and we are willing to let this all go. You haven't really hurt us. Now bring us to your master.
Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
That's
12 plus 7, 19.
ooh, not bad. Okay, so at that point, yes. So you start to feel something a little bit kind of funny around your feet. I'm going to make a perception check as it at least gets your attention. See if you can...
Me make a perception?
Yes.
Okay.
You.
19 minus 1, 18.
18, okay.
What's he playing at?
Okay, make a DC 15 dexterity for me.
Okay.
Earthquake.
Okay. 15.
Ooh,
Ah,
right on.
you got 15?
Yes.
Okay, so because you could feel it and it just caught your attention, you just moved out of the way of what appears to be a familiar looking vine that appears to resemble the thickets and stuff you guys encountered on the way in, as it starts to snake its way around, attempting anyways your leg, but ultimately gets nothing as you just
What's up,
miss it.
Victor? That's that vine I saw earlier.
Thanks. I don't know how much you can understand, but I'm done with this. Ultimately, we're here to talk, but we don't have to at the end of the day. We're not just pretty faces. We can back up what we've come here to tell you about. And I'll Eldritch blast the vine and blow it up.
Yeah, so make an attack.
Okay. So, first attack. That is 16 plus
Okay,
Oh, it's
yep.
warm in here, eh?
to hit. So that's... and I'll do a bonus action to transfer the hex from the corpse.
Uh-huh.
So instead of all of its blood being
God.
black like ink, all of a sudden the red coloration returns to it as it sucks into the bottle, and I'll splash
Okay.
it down onto the
Gotcha.
vine.
Perfect.
So that means that I'm doing a d10 plus 4 plus a d6.
Yep.
So that's 10 plus 4. That's 14 force, 5 necrotic.
Nice. So yeah, as you decimate this thicket vine that's coming up through the ground, the wolves kind of almost get hyena-like in the way that they appear to chuckle a little bit, and then they scurry off.
Well, I'll look to the animals that remain. I'll go, the sooner we get this conversation with your master done, the sooner the rest of you can experience some form of freedom, I imagine. We're trying to bring everything back to how it was, make everything right and natural again. So please, for your own self-interest, deliver my God's damned message.
And at that point, you can see all the animals that are kind of listening in the trees and stuff. They all start to move at the exact same time very synchronous in the way that they make
That is just creepy.
what appears to be
Yeah.
almost like an arrow.
Whoa. Okay.
As they take marching order in the shape of an arrow, and much like high school marching band on the field making shapes, they are just moving forward throughout this, I would call it a path. It's been walked before, but what's
Do I
that?
see this where I've run off to?
Oh,
Like
from
doing
your
it
head there?
too? Or am I like away?
You
from
would
that?
probably be about 60
Yeah.
to about 90 feet away. You were gone for a few turns, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it would take you a little bit to get back, but
Of
you
course.
can make your way back. You would probably start to get there around now.
Yeah, I'll make
Yeah, you guys
Carrie!
just finished, so
I will.
Carrie,
If there's-
get back here!
yeah, you can hear Victor's
Is there,
voice.
is there lots of
We're
animals
leaving.
around me?
You went off ahead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's quite a few, but there's not. They don't seem like you would expect animals to
Okay.
behave. They're not like it's not mating calls and
Oh.
interacting with each other. It's just like they're there.
Okay. I'll
It's weird. It's a little
Yeah.
eerie.
I will shout out just to, because she shouted Vimic. I'll shout out, Vimic! Make your way to a puppy! And then walk back.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
just
and you
just
start
to
walking
see.
back.
If he does it,
Instructions
then he'll
unclear.
do
Became puppy.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, as you start
Sounds
to
about right.
it. Make yourself into a puppy.
as Carrie starts to make her way back to the group, you're actually for the first thing you catch is a group of animals in this odd shape. There's a very large deer kind of off center in the sort of corner of this triangle, and a small little rat at the other. It's all mixed matched, very like odd shapes and sizes, but ultimately you can tell it's making an arrow and leading, as you can see behind it, your friends in some kind of direction.
Oh, God.
And you guys see Carrie start walking towards you.
Carrie.
You okay?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, I don't have a scratch on me. What are you doing running off by yourself again?
That bunny wasn't a bunny.
Oh.
It was, like you said, Vimic. He was like really, really big. Like, was he just a person as a bunny?
She said something.
You could not pick him up, right?
No.
Yeah.
Like, I can normally pick up anything.
That's Vimic. It's Vimic.
Okay.
I'm not
Do you
from
know
your
a
world.
Vimic? Do you know a
Dear.
Vimic?
It's a Vimic.
Ugh.
What? Who's Vimic?
Vimic is like your best friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you recognize us then? Because I have the same face. You recognize my face.
I am very curious about that myself.
He
He
seems
seemed
scared.
very scared, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the A
Which is
team
weird
showed
for
up,
him
so-
because he doesn't spook easily, so that
Yeah.
kind of
Oh.
scares me a little bit, and it should probably scare you too, so.
Maybe he was trying to blend in with the animals.
Yeah, that wasn't working though. They had kind of
Maybe they
suspected
just
that he was
realized
an
it
outside.
though.
Oh, maybe.
Because as soon as I tried to pick him up, and it was like, oh yeah, Jig's out of the bag. Like,
I'll try.
kind of. That was when he hid. He's hiding somewhere.
Do you think? I mean, he ran away and he saw you and he saw myself.
I don't
How
know if he
useful of an
saw
ally
me.
is this Vimic man?
I don't know what he saw.
Maybe he came through confused as well, like the dragons. Maybe
He is
he's
like
actually
enormous
like a bunny.
though, and he's very good at fighting.
So you think maybe we should spend the time to find your old friend, and
Would it be worthwhile?
maybe you could help us?
I did tell him to try and find
It's-
a puppy. So if Puppy finds it, like if he makes his way to Puppy, then
Right. So you're just going to leave your puppy out here to search on his own?
no, Puppy's making his way back to the boat. He got lost.
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
So this arrow, that's going in the
Yes.
direction that we're going.
Yeah.
Either that's
Okay.
danger.
That's right. Now, are you guys? You're still following the arrow, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Good.
The animals are leading us to the dragon. There's a Vimic, who is a rabbit, who is a large man.
Yes, very
And a
large.
Powerful warrior.
He is.
But he ran away.
He can be hot-headed sometimes, so
I would think that bunny, if it was hot-headed, would start mauling the wolves, though, right? Seems like a little bit
yeah,
yellow belly.
maybe he's not doing so well here like you.
Yeah. You
Maybe
could see
just
he was
doesn't
bloody.
remember
Ouch.
us. Maybe
Aw.
he doesn't remember us.
Yeah, but you can see it was bloody. Like,
Oh,
yeah, remember you could see red
Oh,
blood on the.
yeah.
It was injured before you guys even got
Or
there.
maybe that's not even your Vimic. It could be 100 other ones.
And
Oh,
keep
yeah.
in mind too.
Have a
Apparently,
little-
yes. Maybe it's not.
We've got a Minxie
That's true.
Junior.
That's true. And keep in mind too, the rabbit.
big
A
tree.
rabbit is quite low, and a wolf is quite tall. And if you guys are behind that, it's field of view. It's such a different perspective being that low down.
yeah.
If it has wolves that are quite a bit taller than it, that close to it. You guys don't even know who was seen at that point, really, right? The only person that really made an effort to get between the wolves and make like that close a contact was Saren. And Vimic doesn't know who the heck Carrie really is.
No,
so.
and I'm scary and
We're
full
in
armor.
we're in a bit of a predicament now, though, because we would look like right dickheads if it was like introducing the people who want to talk to you, and then we didn't show up for like a good hour or so while looking for this Vimic guy. So maybe we just call out, maybe he'd recognize your and my voice, and hope if he comes along, then I know it might not be the odds that you like, but.
Yes, I think you need to use your biggest vibrato you can and just sing out his name.
I'm not much of a singer, but
Hold on.
You always say that, but you are a great singer.
I'll hold my gem out in my hand and cast thaumaturgy. It's, Vimic, present yourself.
oh yeah, it doesn't have to be our voice.
Yeah.
He knows his name.
Looking for a Vimic. Is there a Vimic around?
Roll persuasion.
And I'll aid.
Because he's
This is your friend from a different universe. I don't know you, but I care about you and stuff. Come home.
Minxie misses you.
Then don't
Yes,
roll
come
at
back
disadvantage.
To Minxie.
Straight roll then.
Said a persuasion.
He's a scared bunny in another world with voice he's never heard before calling him out after he's been
and he's
beaten and bloodied.
a natural 20, so
Yeah.
16.
Okay. So you yelled out.
But we really must still keep going.
Yeah.
Yes.
He can come find us.
Yes, if the
find him
animals
later.
that Victor has talked to are pointing us in the right direction.
Is he like a good tracker or something?
The shade.
He's crap.
Cutting everyone down at the knees.
sorry, no one understands why we're laughing.
It's okay.
But it's great.
Doesn't matter. So as you guys follow this arrow and you chat and you try to call out for Vimic, eventually you start to hear those sounds and stuff that you were hearing earlier, the screams and whatnot. They become louder, and you notice it doesn't sound like the screams are particularly troubling. It kind of sounds like a very half-hearted attempt at seeming like they're enjoying something. It's that like it just feels really it just doesn't seem very authentic, but it sure is loud and there's an effort being involved. As you guys start to get closer towards where the mountain hits the land and the city kind of starts to disappear a little bit from the core of the center of the city there, you notice that there is a spot carved out of the mountain, and this is where a lot of the glowing is actually taking place. Looks like a lot of the houses a little further back didn't have the lights on, but here there's quite a bit of light. And inside of the cave you can see a little bit of smoke coming out with a little light flickering on the inside, and outside of the cave you can see a dry, open, kind of cracked ground, just dead, earthy, sort of horseshoe shape around the edge of this chasm, this opening in the cave. And the tree line seems to be riddled with people that are tied up. About 10 to 15 or so feet worth of rope, enough to move around and that kind of thing, but really not enough to get anywhere. And it seems as though there's a few of them that are dancing and pretending really hard to just be excited, and they seem to look okay. They're definitely not in great shape, but they look okay. There are others that are not very mobile. They're not very excited. They're not dancing. It looks like they've kind of given up making an effort to seem entertaining and interesting, and as such they look very skinny. They look like they haven't been taken care of the same. They've kind of been neglected a little bit.
Okay.
Right. It looks like our dragon friend plays favorites with her pets. Well, at least we seem to know where it is.
I just want to leave all these people like this.
Well, I imagine if we take all of the things away, it's not really going
Probably
to
make
put
it
us on
mad.
Yeah.
Alright.
That can be something we can try to work into a deal, but not something we want to lead into from the very beginning.
This must be.
That's probably something we'll work in.
Must be so hard for you to walk away from all these suffering.
I thought we kind of went over why I don't have too much invested in
He's
Darcy.
probably completely fine with it.
Carrie's gonna walk on straight ahead and have her visor
His
down
own
because
people.
it is so hard for her
They are
not
my
to
people.
just like run over and do lay on hands for all of them. So she's just gonna hold her hands together and just walk.
Yeah. You guys are looking around at your environment. Whoever's trying to actively see what's going on rather than Carrie sort of shielding it.
Yeah.
You guys can do a perception check. Carrie, you wouldn't do one if you're actively avoiding it.
Yeah, I'm looking towards like the mouth of the cave to kind of see if I can spot
shape.
some kind of
That's fair.
sign of a thing being close by, watching the
So you're more focused on
entertainment.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
No.
What'd you get, Mark?
A 10.
Okay. Lisa?
A 7.
Ah, not that good. At least someone got 10. So you notice, you can't really make heads or tails of what's being said, but you do notice that within these kind of tightly bunched people and that's kind of stuck to the tree line there's a few of them that are kind of talking amongst themselves and looking at you guys. Some of them specifically seem to be making a lot of commotion and looking a lot in Victor's direction. You know he's sort of
Just
from here.
staring at the
His
cave.
ex-wife. Yeah, I mean, it might
Yeah.
just be people that just know him. It's been a while since he's been around this area.
Sure.
But that's all you can really pick up
Alright.
on. There's not a whole lot else with a 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
That they're all talking about new heroes have arrived to
right.
save them.
And what are you guys
I'll
doing?
leave them.
Yeah. Elves have a habit of showing gratitude. No.
But what does
Anyway.
it look like in front? Like, is the dragon just in the cave, or is it like
You don't see a
further?
dragon.
Okay.
You see there's a little bit of what looks like a flame light
Okay.
coming from inside with a little bit of smoke coming out. I'm assuming there's probably a fire in there, but there's not really anything that would show that there is a dragon in there.
Do you think maybe you not want to look like an elf right now?
I might be a little late
you
for
look
that.
very pretty.
Just alter yourself. Just take the ink cork up. Human.
Yeah, you look like a human.
Yeah.
But you smell so
Yeah, you don't look like anyone in particular by any means, but your ears do become a little bit less pointed. You gain,
little less.
you gain, yeah, you gain a couple pounds. You shrink about an inch or so. You just,
An inch.
yeah,
Oh, you are. Yes. That's perfect.
yeah,
It hurts so bad.
yeah. And for the most part, though, you don't really change much of this. It just made you
Yeah.
look more human. Yeah, there wasn't too much to do, which is actually pretty convenient. So,
Once I get inside, I'll take off my helmet.
so you're entering into the cave.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably
Yeah.
want to announce ourselves before we walk into its home.
That's why I was
there's-
taking off my helmet to be
Mhm.
polite.
Yeah,
not
there's
look
this
all
clearing
armored
here,
up.
so
Yeah, I'll kind of join her in the horseshoe outside of the cave, and kind of announce ourselves that we're here.
Yeah. So as you guys, hello, you can
great and powerful Tiamat.
you
And bow.
you can hear, hello.
Is he
We've
mimic? Oh. Sorry, I thought that the dragon was. Oh.
we've come for an audience. We have a proposal that you should be interested in.
And at that point, you can hear a loud thwapping sound. And it
Ah, it's no use. We should turn back.
as it sounds like
I am with
something
you.
was struck or hit, and then you don't hear anything talking to you anymore.
A thwapping sound.
Yeah, big
Something is.
Echoing through the cave. Sounded like a not dragon-esque voice saying hello, and then something getting hit.
Tiamat, may we enter your abode? I believe you'll find what we have to say is quite entertaining. It's going to be awfully distracting and diverting.
At that point, you see. Why don't you roll a perception? Because you might not. Only you, because you might pick up on it.
13 minus 1, 12.
Yeah, it's as long as you break a 10, it's not hard. But you notice there's a familiar face coming towards you, dressed in
Just a face?
It's a very old,
She's worth the dragon.
older, yeah, with like some elf-like characteristics and a sort of similar jawline, a little bit different, but you can tell there's some similarities.
And I'm
As
just
this,
bowing down.
yeah, as this
waiting to
older
see that
individual
come
kind
out.
of starts to make its way out of the cave, very slowly and cautiously. You can see that there's a rope tied around the ankle, and it appears as though, much like little cat Minxie had the fake wings taped to its back. In a similar fashion, this one has leaves and foliage and stuff, kind of, sort of resembling the vines that you guys saw, bits and pieces anyways. Sort of looks like a costume, like a very intentionally poorly made, almost mascot-like version of a green dragon. And this man has a rope tied to him, and he kind of waddles out. He looks like your father. Yeah.
Do you speak on behalf of Tiamat, the great and powerful? Are you her emissary?
Yes.
Am I to speak to her through you, or can I speak to her myself?
Very quiet. Looks back.
I'm the great powerful Tiamat that you search for.
Eyes go down. Very embarrassed looking.
This is how we're going to have our first conversation in this.
Well,
way.
Tiamat, we have a proposition for you. Tell him.
So much
Oh, goodness.
Must be taking on the human form again.
What can I do
Make us
for,
at ease.
Yeah.
for you?
As I
Bit more stuttery than I thought.
As I stand up and see that he clearly looks like Victor but older, I will like put my hand onto Victor and make sure he's just like a calming.
Oh, I'm calm. I'm so calm.
You must win a battle against the great Tiamat to win my respect and have my ear. Prepare for battle.
As he looks kind of behind him again, a little shaky, and his
Alright, I'm ready a
shaking
fireball.
his shaking hand reaches in to grab what appears to be a very poorly made, like a shiv. It's just like a kind of rock stuck into the end of a piece of stick with a little bit of twine around it, and the rock's been sharpened and broken. It's a very primitive looking tool.
It will push you if you do shoot a fireball at him. I can't help that.
Is this
You're right next
something
to
that
me.
you would like to do?
No. Great and powerful Tiamat, we have not come to actually fight you. We have a proposal that we figure you'll entertain on its own merits. You like to collect toys. We have the ultimate toy in mind for you. We can point them out.
Does an 18 hit?
It would.
So he would. Where the heck's my D4?
This one also seeks a challenge.
Can I take,
Oh, you know what? I'll do it like this. That's easy.
Can I take
So
that hit?
1.
I was just gonna do that too.
No.
Oh,
I mean, he would have to be targeting you, or you'd have to act as cover, or
well, yeah.
it was a surprise attack. It wouldn't work
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So 1 damage. He's trying for some reason or another. You can't. It just doesn't seem like he's really all that composed, and he doesn't hurt you too badly. But he does take a little stab at you.
I imagine there would be an awkward moment where he's like goes to stab and I grab his hand as he like goes through the clothes and just don't. Do
Yeah,
this.
just a little bit of blood, very little. But you can tell, you can feel the vibrations as you grab his hand.
Alright, you
His-
guys,
his
out of the
eyes are
way.
still
Let me
down.
blast him.
Oh god, no.
Zarek, back off.
Tiamat, this is funny, but come out here now. We're done playing games with this.
Roll a perception check.
15 plus.
We killing him or not?
Yeah,
16.
you can hear some
Don't hit the man.
some not so nice sounds. Not quite screaming. They sound like they're really trying to be held back, but you can hear something going on in the cave. And he can hear it too, the older gentleman there with the elf-like features in the costume. He can, as he looks back and he goes to stab again. If
I'm covering him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Roll initiative? Or are you going to even take that stance at this point? Just let him keep getting
Keep
off.
stabbing.
It's totally up to you guys.
Yeah. I'll let him keep stabbing me, but I'm not gonna let him stab me.
He's not interested in you.
That's okay. I want to like cover if I can.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it on him because I
15?
know he'll want to stab.
Yeah. As I'll just
go watch it like wind up. I'll go. If this is entertaining to you, it's lower brow than I anticipated. Oh God!
Yeah, 3.
It's more entertaining than you think.
Fight me or face my wrath.
Oh god.
All right.
I'll just
Eldritch blast him twice in the face, non-lethally.
oh my god.
Just knock him out.
Yeah, roll.
Well, yeah, so you can kill him, but I can't. Sure.
Yeah,
that's fair.
it's a roll to hit, right? It's not like magic
Yeah.
missile. Okay, I thought so. That was
Even though
crazy
I
for
can't-
someone.
I'll even hex him just for shits and giggles.
Nice.
All right, so
care.
18 plus 7, so 25 on the first one,
Do initiative
and then
now.
16 plus 7 on the second one. Both of those are
Yeah.
d10s plus 4 and 2 d6s. Okay, so that's 8, that's 6, that's 14 plus 8, that's 22, 22 plus 8, that's 30 non-lethal
Yeah.
damage as I just boom, 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 just pummel him down to the ground. Stop!
Yeah.
Just get out of my way for once!
I will do
Oh.
Hello!
I will do
God.
1 hit health, just so he's like awake.
To wake him up,
She's
I'm not
judging
making, I'm
you.
like going down.
but are
lay on
you
hands,
waking him
But
up?
I'm gonna like tell him to stay down, like almost like pushing him down, but like
Tell him to stay down. He knocked me. Oh.
yeah.
So she's laying on hands.
Is he okay? Like he's not gonna die, being knocked down and left.
Did you lay on hands?
She did.
I
She lay on
want to,
hands.
Ryan.
So as you lay on hands, he
I
kind
hate
of
this.
comes to, and he hears the muffling and the kind of suppressed screaming from the background again. It's obvious you guys aren't in the middle of your conversation anymore, and you can see he panics because of that. He goes,
Fight the noble Tiamat!
Oh, God.
and he gets up and staggers to his
I
feet.
held him. He's not getting up. I'm holding him down.
Just gonna do it back and forth since that's how this is going right now.
Not as
14.
impressive as the last
14 doesn't
dragon
hit,
man we
right?
fought.
14 would hit.
It would.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're hating this, Carrie? He's stabbing me!
Indeed.
Two-
You're making me beat up my father again and again! I already put him down!
2 damage.
God.
That's your dad?
Yes!
I'm gonna just knock him out.
Why are you killing your father?
I'm gonna knock him out myself.
We have a strange relationship.
Do you not see the similarities? It was not
I'm
obvious.
just gonna knock him out
I'm bad
myself.
with
At this
Jeez.
point, I would let you and Calvin get your turn in because
Yeah.
he's at 1 hit point. So if you're gonna go before
Oh
Calvin,
yeah, I would have done anyway because it's a punch. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just doing an arm strike.
Okay, roll the hit.
16,
Okay, yeah,
and then like
yeah. As long as you, yes,
Yeah.
any damage at all at this
just
point.
to
So
punch him down.
non-lethally, I'm assuming.
Oh,
just
of
a
course,
little-
absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
basically
literally
just a
punch him to the
backhand, and
ground.
he's as he falls to the ground, and
Yeah.
this time he's out, and you're not laying on hands. You're okay to proceed. Yeah.
I'm gonna drag him away so he's away from the cave entrance.
Great and powerful Tiamat turned out to be pretty damn weak. What a letdown. Who else is coming out of the cave?
You don't hear anything.
What a f***ing pushover.
And I'll just step over him
Yeah.
and follow the rope going in.
Drag
I'm
him to
gonna-
the side of the cave.
I'm
and
gonna
then
cut the
follow.
rope
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
so that when he comes to, he can run away.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If, wherever he can
I'm
get.
I'm making sure he's
Well,
away from the cave
I thought we
entrance.
weren't setting people free because we might
That's his
upset
big
the dragon. That's
farm.
clearly his pet.
I'm walking into the cave. I don't
Yeah.
know. You guys talk.
So you can do an action
then
because their
making fun
movement's
of
going to
us.
be. We're going to kind of try to keep track of this in a way that makes sense. So what are you going to do, Alex? You're going to cut the
You're gonna s-
cut the rope,
Minxie
No.
is
or
gonna
Minxie?
cut-
Sorry,
yeah,
yes.
No,
she's-
Minxie.
Yes,
You're going to make the dragon mad. And he's not going anywhere.
he is already mad.
Little
He doesn't
daggers.
even want to talk to us. He's being a dick. I am going to be a dick too.
Yeah. I'm gonna carry him. Make sure he's like into like the trees and stuff so he isn't at the entrance of the cave if anything comes out, it's not gonna step on him.
Yeah, you can put him kind of off to the side a little bit.
Yeah,
As you
make sure
drag
it's
him out
just
to kind of the dry ground underneath the overhang of the cave there and prop him up, you can see the dancing and excited elves that are pretending to kind of have some enthusiasm, and you can kind of hear them pep up a little bit. Seems like it's a familiar face to them. It's nice to have him back out kind of thing, but yeah. You guys go back in the cave, and as you, Calvin, as you make your way beeline right to this thing, you see there's not a dragon there, but the first thing that you see is a cage. And there's a female inside the cage.
Oh god.
And she looks familiar to
I'll
you.
keep walking in until I can see clearly who it is.
Yeah,
As
so-
I start to like get an outline, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, as your eyes adjust
Son
eventually,
of a-
I'll just pick up the pace, just get up until I can see.
Yeah, you hear... Vicky? Vicky?
Oh, Vicky.
Who is it? Is it my mom?
It's your ex-wife.
You don't get to call me that anymore.
You're in disguise, aren't you?
His face is the same. It's
Yeah,
not that good of
he
an
said
inkwell. He wanted to
Because
look
I
at me
can't
like
control
someone-
it.
It just looks like a human.
I just said
Version
human,
of
and he
myself.
made it.
Random.
It's weak is what it is because, you know,
Okay.
he'll learn, but yeah.
Are you the great and powerful Tiamat now? Do I have to talk to her through you?
No, I'm in a fucking cage. Let me out.
No. Where is the dragon?
Vicky.
You say Vicky one more time.
Victor, why don't we make a deal, okay? I know that there's been issues between us, okay? And
Issues?
I will admit fault. I will. It's me. It's all me.
You will admit fault.
Completely my fault. Everything was my fault. Everything that happened was my fault. It was my choices. I was wrong, okay?
What is happening?
Victor.
I thought that the one thing I wanted from you is ownership and apologies, and now you're smiling like a psychopath.
No, I'm not smiling. I'm just trying to be calm. But it's really important that you let me out of here, okay? And why don't we work something out, okay? Why don't you take over the business again? It's all yours.
Shut up. I'm not here for the business. I left it behind. I don't care about that anymore. I want the things that you took from me that I cannot buy with money. And where is the damn dragon? Because the dragon can actually get me what you took.
Okay.
If you say anything that doesn't have to do with the direction of a dragon, I swear on the God that will fix all of this, when I have him rewrite the world, you won't be written back into it. Where is the dragon? Where is it? Don't say Vicky. Don't even say Victor.
Yeah, she's quiet. She just kind of looks down a darker chasm that doesn't have the flicker of the firelight. And as she goes very quiet, and the man who was your father is knocked out, you don't hear anything other than the push and pull of just air breathing in and out as you feel a warm, musty breeze starting to kind of move inconsistently through the cave.
Okay. You can answer one question for me, and then I'll see if I'll let you out. I have found out that we did not have free will for the vast majority of our lives. In the same way that a character in a book thinks he's making all their own decisions, but it's really being written by someone else. You said you accept fault. You have free will now when you didn't before. I'm going to ask you now, would you have still done it?
No.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't. It doesn't make any... Why would I do that?
I want to do an insight, and I don't know if I can get advantage on it just for sheer story reasons. This is one that he needs to get right.
It's
he
your
needs
ex-wife,
to know.
yes. This is like playing a poker game with a family member. The tells are more obvious. It's just, you've lived with this person and loved them for a long time. You know them.
I can't believe you're threatening her with not even having existed. It's cold.
I love
Even
it.
for you.
That's great.
It was almost a nat 20.
I give you bardic inspiration.
For D8 or
Yes.
D6?
D8s for.
Please be a high number.
Oh.
Uh,
That's okay.
What was your total?
8 plus 1 minus 1. He has terrible insight.
So it's
like, he
8.
didn't know what she was about when he was going out.
yeah.
Which
So
makes sense.
he thinks she's telling the truth.
I will do an insight check.
Okay, you can do an insight.
get it.
And to be extra fair about this, I'm gonna roll this right here.
Oh,
Okay.
no, she's good. I will.
What'd you get? You can't really tell. It's close enough that it's murky.
If I'm...
I go
I
over
don't
to
know.
Victor, and I put my arm around him and start like touching him and stuff to see if it makes her upset.
I do the same on the other side.
I come up behind him and just give him all a hug.
As you
Because I need to okay.
as you
I
kind
know
of
you don't like it.
yeah
but-
as you play I guess emotionally corrupt wingman or whatever it's gonna be, as you're like trying to just spark the jealousy a little bit. It doesn't seem like there's really any jealousy there. She looks at you. Oh, is this? Don't worry. This is fine. I'm really happy for you. If this is what you want, that's all, whatever you want is what I want.
Yeah, I found some people that love me, so...
That's good. That's so good.
You shouldn't
I
say
fucking love him, you monster.
Yeah, you don't deserve to say anything to him,
Good.
really, or any of us.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Hey,
Yes.
Serene,
Yes.
I'm gonna let you out of your cage.
Thank you so much. I can't even explain to you how much this
And
means to me.
Serene, you know I'm really bad at reading people. I'm more of a numbers guy. So here's the deal. I think, you're doing all of the right things, but I know that I'm bad at that now. I didn't before until you kind of highlighted that glaring weakness. So thank you for that, because your freedom is conditional. I'm going to get a zone of truth or a fucking mind reader.
Zone of truth.
Do you make Zone of Truth? Is he?
I'm pretty sure I have Zone of truth. I'm gonna check. But yeah, I have Zone of truth
And
still.
as I'm getting
Yeah.
ready
Yeah,
to
as
blast
soon
the
as you
cage
say
open,
that.
I just...
Zone of truth.
Wait.
No.
Wait.
Chair. I'm gonna hold you and
Hold on.
pick you up.
I just want you guys to know I get flustered sometimes when I'm in small spaces. So I think if I'm out,
Twisted bitch. Answer my question again. You have free will now. Do you regret it? Would you do it again?
Zach just
cast?
grab some
Yes, I have
popcorn.
is there a DC or is it just a?
She can choose to. Okay, so
This is
you
important,
create
so-
a magical zone that guards against deception in 50-foot radius sphere created on the point of your choice, which is around us.
Yes.
Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn in there
In the area.
must make a charisma saving throw. On
Charisma
a
save.
failed save, the creature can't speak a deliberate
okay.
lie.
What's-
To make a saving throw? I thought
Okay.
it was auto.
What's the save?
It is.
What's your save? Would be your spell save DC, right?
She's
Is-
And we
charismatic.
don't know.
Damn it.
We don't know if they passed or failed.
Right.
Everyone normally does it, and they're like,
Okay, and you're asking her a question.
okay, and
You
I
said,
know.
would you do
I
that?
know.
You know.
I know.
Okay.
You guys don't know about you.
Okay.
So you know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving
Okay.
throw.
So you ask, would you have done this again?
You didn't have
Yeah.
free will before.
Yeah, now that
you
you
have
do.
it here and now. Do you regret it? Would you have done it again?
I think with this spell, you must
And
be
then
more
I will-
specific.
I will have a ready action to grab him and hold him.
Yeah.
So
Just
Do
to
you
make
regret
sure.
it?
So she
He's
answers
okay.
almost verbatim what she said last time. Why would I do that? I would never do that to you. And it sounds. Do you want to make another insight since this is a fresh, to see if you can kind of figure it out before she tells you what's going on?
I'm
If
not
she
gonna-
casts
I
Zone
wanna
of Truth, I'm
know,
going
but
to trust
not
in the
gonna-
power
Okay.
of the spell. I don't know.
So
what
you
Zone of
guys don't
Truth-
know yet, but you know she's not being
Okay, I'm
particularly
not going to
honest.
say anything.
Okay.
All right, if she says that within the Zone of Truth and I can't tell,
I'm gonna.
I'm gonna pretty much like holding onto the bars, just start shaking and like blubbering and like
It's
fall
okay.
to my knees. As
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
she.
So she failed the spell, or she passed the charisma
She
save, right?
passed it.
So you guys don't know anything, but Saren knows that
She knows that she
was
passed
lying.
the charisma. She doesn't know she's lying. She knows she passed the charisma save.
Zone of.
Oh no.
So she knows that she.
That she can tell a lie doesn't mean she is telling a lie.
Does it not say that you can
On
tell
a-
whether or not they're being?
On a failed save, a
They
creature
cannot.
can't speak a deliberate lie, so it can't lie in this
But she
area. It
passed her
won't
save.
Oh, but
say
it doesn't
anything.
say on a success that they that you
doesn't
know if
say.
it's a lie.
No, I know if it's a lie or not.
You do. Does
Yeah.
it say that you know if it's a
Yes.
lie?
But if they
Can you read it
Fail,
back
sorry.
or we kind of play? Because I don't know if it says.
just-
until the spell
She
ends,
just
the
knows that
creature
she
that
can
enters the
tell a
spell.
lie.
Okay, so that's what
On
you're
a
looking
failed
for.
save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
Right.
You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. So I know.
So you know that she's passed her saving throw.
You know whether they've succeeded or passed?
I
Oh.
do, but I'm not telling you.
You don't know.
But we don't know if it's
But you don't know if it was a lie.
No.
You just know that she has the ability to lie because she passed, but you can't tell if she was or wasn't lying.
That's why I'm
If
just
anyone
gonna
wants to do an
hold
insight
you
check,
and
now's the
make sure
time.
you're okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, as she says
Over
that,
our
I pretty much
popcorn.
like tremble and spasm and pretty much like break down. Like if she had free will, she wouldn't have done it. That's what I think.
I got
and so I'm
11.
just
18?
Okay.
Natural 20.
Yeah!
Oh, damn. Oh,
Oh god.
you're just character studying.
yeah.
Thanks for leaving me there. There, no.
So both of you are
Me especially.
pretty, especially Mark, but both of you in general, you get the sense she's not being honest. You can see the fear in her eyes. She just wants out of the cage. She's just saying what she thinks somebody wants to hear.
She is a horrible
I'm gonna
bitch.
hold you
Yes, he's a
and just
like,
console
nasty
you.
person.
But yeah, as you
Yeah.
start to
Should we-
buckle and you hold on,
we
just
tell him, or-
falling and crying down, she reaches a hand through the
Do
bars
you
and just
think
starts
she
petting the
should
back of your
No.
head.
Oh, if
she just
she
goes,
does-
No.
if she
I'm
does
so
that, I'm
sorry.
gonna
I'm
hit
so
it.
sorry.
If she does that, I will hit it.
Hey, big
Smee's
man.
is way too chipper for that.
Yeah,
Can
he's just
I-
like
can
a
I
sobbing
slap
mess.
her?
He's
like
just
a
a
hard
wreck.
slap on her hand.
She's through the bars. You wouldn't even be able to get the momentum to.
I don't want it to. I'm
Physically.
like on
Oh,
Victoria.
you want to just slap her
Hey,
hand?
people,
Yeah.
Oh,
do
yeah,
very
of course.
screaming, and
Cool. I slapped
I
her
can
hand.
tell you,
Okay.
For as much
She is
damage
not
as I
being
can without
honest.
knocking her out.
Yeah, I'd let you roll a d4. for
she
that.
would
You got
Oh,
your
no.
big
again.
metal armor on.
It's,
Every time.
Oh,
She is
It's
not
okay.
sincere, honey. I
For
am
this, for
sorry.
flair, yes, because
So-
you got your
Okay,
big
cool.
metal armor on. I'd let you add a d4 plus your strength because you're
So hold
armored
on.
up.
I turn into a blubbering mess, thinking that the
Plus
spell has
4,
gone off and she's
Yes,
telling the
zone
truth.
of truth.
She knows.
It's 8.
She only knows that she could
She
choose
could've
to lie,
lied.
not that she did lie, just
Yeah.
that she could.
But then these guys find
Those
out.
two don't believe shit though. They're like, that chick's
do
lying for sure.
Yeah, I slap her hand for 8
So you smack her hand away, and then
while I'm holding you.
through all of it, I hear you go. I can read her, and that's a lie.
Try to tighten up around you to hold
Yeah, and then
you.
you hear a thunk above your head as her hand gets thwapped by
Yeah.
Carrie with her big metal armor glove, just and does 8 damage to her as you feel a little bit of blood drip down, and her as your
don't
ex-wife
As I
pulls her hand
touch
away.
him. You are not allowed to console him. You had all the chance to console him when you wanted to, when you could have actually shown him that you loved him.
I'm trying to show
No,
him.
you are not.
Would you stay out of this? You have nothing to do with any of
Yes,
this, okay?
I do.
Everyone
I'm
is
the
just
only
confusing him. You're all confusing him. Okay? I think it's important that he focuses on what matters right now, and that is getting himself mentally in a spot where he can deal with all this stuff. He has the weight of the world on his
Oh
shoulders.
no, I think that he should deal with you accordingly.
And at that point, I think I would, still shaking and crying,
Mm-hmm.
I would hold on to my little inkwell and look at her, and I'm going to dig deep into my pact with the djinn,
Ah.
and I'll give it a favorable trade.
Ah.
As the tears kind of turn like black, like ink, as it gets more of a hold of me. You want out of a cage, but you know what? I'm just going to change up the scenery a little bit. I don't need God to write you out of existence. I can do a little bit of that myself. In you go. And I'm going to have the djinn pretty much suck her up into its realm, into the bottle.
That's a
Just
tricky one.
pure blackness.
Okay, I will let you.
I'm gonna.
He's gonna
I'll make
dig
whatever
deep.
trades I have to with that djinn to
Yeah,
do it.
I was just thinking. So
Pact of the
you can.
ex-wife.
It's happening.
So you can roll an Arcana with advantage. Okay, DC's 15. But you're gonna owe the djinn a favor,
Yeah.
and he can call on it whenever he wants.
Yeah. Even if it's nondescript, I'll be like, I'll owe you one, buddy.
It is nondescript. It is very. I'll call for it when I want it.
It is not convinced. I don't. I
You
don't
don't
break
succeed?
the 15.
Okay.
So I'm willing to offer pretty much anything to this djinn, but it does not take me up
Okay.
on it apparently.
So you failed, but you still basically, the advantage was you're going to make the deal with him, and he'll make it a little bit easier for you to wrap your head around the Arcana required to do this. And you still couldn't quite get it.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of sense in the back of your head, it's like, well, you still owe me. You can owe me 2 if you want, and we'll just make it happen.
2.
Okay. So for 2 favors, there's no roll for the second attempt. You can feel this heaviness form in the ink as it starts to vibrate in your hands and get hot, like a ball that you're just touching. And
I'll
through
just
the bars squeezes.
scream like,
Yeah.
"Get out of my life!" And I'll just hold the bottle out.
Yeah.
Oh
Just,
my god.
So with the amount of aggression, as you hold this bottle out, much like the scene in Terminator with that like gooey kind of tea, whatever his name was, going through the bars and the skin just melt. That's basically what happens. Is she's not really part of this world anymore. She's formed into this liquidy goo as it gets sucked into the bottle, and your bottle feels a little bit heavier.
Goodbye, jerk.
T1000, thank you. But yeah, she's gone. She's no longer in the cage.
She was a monster in my world, too.
yeah.
She deserved
Okay.
it.
You okay? No,
I
just
don't
follow
know if
closer.
anyone deserves that.
She deserved
No,
it.
I'm in deep.
What did you do?
I made a deal. I made 2 deals.
Oh God. No, Victor.
Shit.
It'll be okay. We will get through this. It'll be
Alright.
okay.
Okay.
You'll be fine because we are going to rewrite everything and it'll be perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Get to the dragon.
Yes. we
Get
can
to
do
the
this.
God Arthur.
Get to the dragon.
Aye, aye.
Rewrite history.
Let's go, Captain.
Rewrite
We'll be
reality.
okay.
We can make everything right again. I can get out of my debts. I can get rid of... No, she's already gotten rid of. I can feel her in there.
Yes.
Alright, but everything else can be what we want.
There you go. Okay.
Alright, let's go. And I'll get up and then there's still like inkiness like dripping off of me.
Yeah.
Alright, into the cave.
Yeah, as you start to walk towards
Yeah.
the darkness with these black tears just stain the skin like something out of the crow.
Follow you close, just trying to clean you up.
And I'll actually turn as I like start to walk towards the dragon, and I'll just go. I'll turn around to the 3 of them, like looking like
Cedric has a very disgusted and
Yeah.
afraid and worried look.
my blood, like the
this
wolf's was, is
Victor.
kind of pumping black, and I'll just look at you guys and go, "Thank you so much. By the way, I couldn't have done that without you."
I'm gonna
I'll keep
pat him
going.
on the shoulder.
And yeah, as you guys break the,
Yeah.
as you guys,
We has least upon this world.
yeah, who has dark vision? Dark vision. Everybody.
do.
Okay.
Yeah,
As you guys kind of break that threshold of where the firelight, as where the firelight can't quite travel around those dark corners, and your eyes start to adjust, you see this green glow in these eyes. But that's where we're gonna pause because it's been about an hour 45.
I gotta pee.
I know, well, about an hour 15 because whatever. But yeah, so we're gonna let you guys go for now. Well, we take a quick little break on Twitch. If it's YouTube, it'll be a whole new day, so we'll catch you then. Like and subscribe. Everyone else will be back in like 5 minutes, maybe 10, and we're gonna see what happens with this dragon and what the genie decides Calvin owes him. This has been a crazy one.
That was.
Bye guys, be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Break.
Hiya.